Coach Herm Edwards with Armen and Levack. Thanks to McLean Food Service. Every Monday at 5:15, we replay the best of Herm at 6:30. And Coach, I know you and your former head coaching mentality when the Packers were up 16-0, and then later in the game 19-7 with 4 minutes left in the game. There was never a point where you thought the game was over, right? I mean, were you always thinking the fat lady hasn't sung yet?
Well, I think when you watch a game like this unfold, obviously Green Bay did an excellent job of getting out to an early lead, but points are always critical, especially on the road. And red zone efficiency. And you think about this team yesterday, they got in the red zone, 5 times, and I think they scored 1 touchdown. They on the 1, and they kicked the field goal. Got on the 3, kicked the field goal. 29, interception, no points. 22, field goal. And then on the 33, another interception, no points. Their efficiency was in the red zone was 1 for 3, so that's 33%. That's never good. Third down efficiency was not very good as well, 21%. But saying all that, they had a lead. It was 16-0. Obviously, the first half, second half, kind of played true to form. The Seattle Seahawks in the last 6 games prior to this game were only averaging about 7 points in the second half. So they gave up 6. And you just look at this game, you can look at, obviously, certain situations in the game that if you make a play or two, and generally in big games like this, you either win or lose, you can go all the way back to the 5 turnovers, and you only score 6 points when you take the ball away 5 times. That's never good. That keeps teams in the game. You can go to the 3rd and 19 when they hit a 29-yard pass, they had a 3-man rush, and then they make a big special teams play on the fake field goal. Then they have the onside kick with, 2 minutes and 9 seconds left. They go 4 plays, 50 yards. And then obviously, with 143 left, 7 plays, 69-yard touchdown. And then with 1:25 left, 4 plays, 50-yard touchdown.
Hey, Coach, what was the most critical play in the game for you?
The 2-point play, because if you knock the ball down, you probably win the game 22-19. But you don't. The guy gets 2 points, and now you got to go down and tie. And then they have an all-out blitz, and obviously Russell Wilson hits the big pass play, and game over.
Coach, what are we seeing in this kid, Russell Wilson? Throws 4 picks and then still has the mental strength to go out there, convert the 2, and throw the touchdown in overtime.
Well, obviously he's got a good defense that when he turns the ball over, they don't allow you to score, and that helps you stay in the game. But I think we're watching a guy that when his career ends, we're going to say this is probably one of the better situation quarterbacks in the National Football League. And you're right, when you throw that many picks, some guys go in the tank. He did not. He found a way, and his team found a way to keep it close in the last, 5 minutes of the game, and they pulled it out at home. And, Green Bay, I know they got to be sick. There's a lot of things they'll look back at this game and say, hey, we could have done that and did this. But I think it shows you this team struggled on the road, the Green Bay Packers. Good as they were yesterday, didn't finally win the game. Counting this playoff game, they were 4-5 on the road. So there you have it.
Coach Herm Edwards with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team. You're home for New York sports. And Coach Herm, you told us at Seattle, Carolina, it would be vicious, put the kids to bed. Man, this one kind of lived up to that billing too, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought the Green Bay Packer defense played outstanding. First half of the game especially. Then you knew that Seattle's going to make a little bit of a comeback. You knew that, but you never expected what you saw. They scored 22 points plus 6 points in the overtime, the second half, and shut Green Bay down to 6 points. And it was a great game to watch. It had a lot of drama. It took an overtime, obviously, period to win. And you would hope that the Super Bowl would be similar to this. You want a game like that that's very competitive. There was a lot of twists and turns in this game. It'll be talked about here, obviously, on the off season, what Green Bay should have did and all this and all that other stuff. And, everyone's going to be a better coach than Mike McCartney right now because they're sitting in their chairs and they got all the answers. But I thought the Green Bay Packers really played well, and Seattle just played well in the last 5 minutes and were able to win the game.
Coach, what do you take from this new accusation against the New England Patriots that now they're deflating footballs?
Well, I just think if you look at the history of these two opponents, I believe they played now 4 times, counting that game yesterday, and the score has been New England 185 points and the Colts 73.
Lopsided, right?
Well, it's 4 times they played them.
Right, yeah.
Score. So I don't know about the inflated balls. We can make. All I know is this is what they've done. So everybody else can figure the rest of that stuff out. I don't worry about that.
I hear you, Coach. Herm Edwards with Armen Levack on 104.5 The Team. Coach, how does the Patriots defense continuously kill the vibe of Andrew Luck? He was looking so good headed into this game.
Well, first of all, Andrew Luck didn't get a lot of help, obviously, yesterday, and it seems like he never does when he plays these guys. T.Y. Hilton had 1 catch, Fleener for 36 yards. Fleener had 3 for 30. They ran the ball okay, but not a whole lot. Aaron had 10 carries, 51 yards. They dropped some balls on him early. He didn't possess the ball a whole lot yesterday, as you know. New England had the ball for almost 38 minutes. They had 76 plays, and the Colts had 52 plays. They had 209 yards total offense. The picks toward the end. They protected him pretty good. Andrew Luck, he wasn't sacked a whole lot. But he really didn't, this was a better team. The New England Patriots was a better team than the Colts guys. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, and obviously they have a way with them when we've talked about the scores in the last 4 games. So I don't know what the big huggaboo's about. I mean, it's a better team. A better team for one, and they played at home. I mean, it started out that way. It's the muff punt, and you give them a second opportunity, they score 7, and then you kick a long field goal, you miss it, they get another 7, and before you know it, it's 17-7. You think it's a game, but when you look at the numbers, the Colts were 27% on third down. The New England was 67%, and in the red zone they were 86%. And they ran the ball again with Blunt, who ran last time on these guys 2 years ago, whatever it was. Crazy. He had, 30 carries for 148 yards. They had 177 yards rushing. So they're a better team. They're just a better team, guys.
Yeah.
It just happens. There's nothing magical. I mean, the Colts have gotten to the playoffs every year because of that quarterback. And I think they're a good team, but without that quarterback, they're probably a 7-9 football team, to be quite honest.
Coach, I guess that's the shocking part in this day and age of parity and bad luck and everything else. How do the Patriots stay in it every single year?
Well, obviously, there's 2 consistent elements, in my opinion. It's the head coach and the quarterback. They've won a lot of playoff games together. They've been in it for a long time. They're very consistent. They seem to win in the big months of November, and they get better in December. They understand that this league is built this way. You really don't know who you are until about week 4 into the season because of the rules and the regulations now, how you have to practice. And by then, they kind of morph their offense into what it should be. Defensively, they went out and got some players on the back end to allow them to have more coverage packages when they play football. With Revis and obviously Browner, and they got corners now. They can press you. They can play a lot of man. Do a great job of taking your 1 and 2 receiver away, especially on offense, and make the third guy beat you, which is always troublesome. You take your first 2 opponents out, and that's not good. And then offensively, they got an up-tempo offense. They can attack you a lot of different ways with formation, personnel. They can run it when they need to. They're always going to attack your seams when they throw the football. Tom Brady has played in a lot of big games. He's a big game quarterback. He understands the mindset. I think this team understands the mindset, and it starts with those 2 guys, with Coach Belichick and Tom Brady.
Coach Herm Edwards, thanks to McLean Food Service. And, Coach, we're going to see you next Monday in Phoenix. We're going to talk to you on Radio Row Thursday in Phoenix. And I know we're going to have no time whatsoever to ever talk about the Super Bowl or break down Seahawks Patriots with you. So, hey, just to get ahead of all of it, what's your one initial reaction today? We're 2 weeks out from this Super Bowl 49 Seahawks Patriots. Your first thought on it?
The 2 best teams are in it. The teams that were slated number 1 in their conferences. They're showing up, and I'm hoping this game becomes a game that we can all look forward to where it gets down to the fourth quarter, like the Green Bay game was against Seattle. I think you've got, two organizations, one that is trying to accomplish something, and I'm talking about the New England Patriots that hasn't been done in quite some time. You're talking about the Seattle Seahawks trying to beat a team that went back-to-back and won Super Bowls 10 years ago, and that's the New England Patriots. And Seattle's trying to top that record. So I think there's going to be a lot of twists, a lot of turns into this deal. I mean, there'll be stories that we talk about for the next 2 weeks. We'll talk about this thing till it's crazy. I just hope it's a good game, and I think it will be. I think you got two really good football teams here, and they're built a little bit different. They got stars, which is always makes it fun. You got some young stars, and you got some guys, in the back nine of their career as stars. So it should be fun.
Well, Coach Herm, we're going to have fun in Phoenix with you. Looking forward to it. Last time we saw you in Bristol, we had some cookies for you that my wife had made. We're going to see if she'll make some more of those that we can have ready for you on Radio Rose. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you next week in Phoenix.
It'll be my pleasure, man. We'll have some fun.
Thanks, Coach.
Excellent. Thanks, Coach.
All righty.